Good day everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to create a dynamic registration and login functionality for a website. So whenever you create a website, you obviously need users to get registered, and once they get registered you need to authenticate them using the username and password, or email and password at the minimum. And yeah, and then go on from there to make a complete shopping cart application. So basically there are loads of free shopping cart template login templates which you can pick up from Google and make them dynamic. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I don't want to spend time on creating the basic backgrounds, colorful backgrounds, when they're already available, because I'm going to focus more on the server side part. So let's pick up any of these. Okay, first name, last name, email and password. Okay, download. When you go to download, it shows you how it works. This is HTML, CSS and JavaScript. It's not dynamic as of now. It's just client-side code. This is login and this is sign up. Good. Okay, let's just export this so we get the whole package ready for us to do the dynamic programming. So sign up login form. Let's unzip this. Okay, index.html. Let's have a look. How does it seem? Login, sign up, get started. Okay, so now this is we want to do. Fill up and submit it to the server. Okay, I'm gonna just close this. So let's go back here. This is index.html. This is my HTMLs. This is CSS. This is JavaScript. This is CSS. Let's just copy these which we are interested in and make them dynamic. Okay, I'm gonna go to my server, applications, MAMP, docs, server. I'm gonna paste them in server. So did I copy? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm gonna just drag this and paste this here. What's the problem? Does it already have it? Okay, sorry. Okay, now it's there. So we have this index.html. I'm going to change this to PHP. Use PHP, and when I open this in my let me just try opening this. I need to open this as PHP. Also, it should open. Okay, so index, what its name is index.php. Okay, sign up, etc., etc. Login is there. Now let's open this in brackets. I want to open this in brackets. Okay, so yeah, this is in brackets. It's there. You can see there's this form tag which starts here, finishes here. I don't think I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the tag which has the input. So you see, this is the input type text. This is the text which enters the first name. The label says first name. This is another label. It says required means it is necessary. You can't just leave it. Okay, so I'm interested in this form which is enclosing these first name, last name, these input text. Okay, so this form starts here, ends here. Now there seems to be a problem with the button. Okay, I think this is wrong, and the button is closed and then closed again here. Okay, I'm gonna just delete this. Okay, now it's okay. So this first name, this form is what I'm interested in. So whenever I submit, it should actually send the information to the server. The server should do what? It should check that the email does not already exist, this email in database, and then it should do the submit. Okay, this is what my my PHP will do. Let's go to the database and fix our database. So I'm gonna go to my software, my database, and let's create a new table. I'm gonna call it users. Go I need first name, last name, email, password, and also the ID, which is the automatically generated ID. Let's add one more, so we have 5 now. This is user ID. Okay, it's coming from my previous table. Integer, and make it automatically increasing, and make it primary. Yes, please. F name of first name of F name is better. I've done something like this, and then last name. Okay, that's good. And then email, and then okay, let's take PWD. Password. User ID is integer, which is automatically increasing. First name should be a varchar, last name should be a varchar, email should be a varchar, password should be a varchar. Okay, let's save. Okay, we need to enter some length. First name cannot be, I think, let's say more than 12, last name 12, email maybe 24, password 24. Okay, go ahead. Okay, we have user ID, F name, L name, email, password. Okay, let me just also change the email. The email should be actually unique. Can I do that now? I don't think I can, but you should be selecting this as unique whenever you created it. And just below the primary, there was a option to make it unique. Okay, anyway, this is my email. I'll also make it unique. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now my email is unique. You need to also do this from the server side to make sure no duplicate emails get inserted into the database. So your database is there, and there's apparently right now there's nothing, because obviously we just created this. Let's go to our dynamic part. So we create the registration. Okay, this form, the sign up form, which has these in last name, first name. Okay, you need to find the form which is just enclosing the first name. This form, I need this to submit it to some page. Let's say it submits the information to registration.php or registration.php. That's the server side code. It will send this information to. It's right now a PHP page which does nothing but submits to another PHP page. Okay, so registration PHP method is equal to, let's do get, so we can see the information on the browser. Everything is going fine. You can also change this to post later on if you like. Yeah, get, and it submits because there's a submit button. Now after you can see there's required here, there's a basic Java, the basic HTML validation already in place. Now you need to do your custom validation on the text fields if you like. As part of student projects, that's a requirement in fact, in which case you need to do the return on submit part, which I've taught you guys before. Anyway, I'll just submit this as it is with the basic HTML validation and save it to the database. So I need to create a new server, which is registration.php. that's the server side code. I'm going to save this at the same place in MAMP htdocs. I'm going to call it registration.php. Okay, first thing I need to do is, if you remember from our staff search or add product, etc., we actually created a connection to the database, and then we read from whatever was coming from the previous page to us. We read that and we displayed that, and then we did the database work. So more or less similar thing we need to do. We open the PHP tag and we close the PHP tag and that's our PHP. And then we need to require once is what we need to do, and if you remember, it was dbconnect.php file which helped us connect with the database. dbconnect.php. If I can open this over here, dbconnect.php. yeah, okay, you need to make sure you connect with the correct database, not the wrong database. localhost EGA, okay, the database connection, and it gives you this variable connection. Okay, we can just close this because we don't need this again. So it actually creates a database and gives us to us. Make sure it's on the same path where your registration.php is. Now we are expecting these values to travel from the client side to the server. So let's give these names. So input text, and we expect over here something called first name, last name, email, and password. 4 things. So let's give ID is fname, name fname. You can only give name, but it's better to give ID also. ID is lname, name is lname. So the name and ID of this input is lname. And then there is email. ID is email and name is email. So let's type email ID, email name, email, no problem. So input password. Okay, ID is, let's give it pwd, name is pwd. So this input type also has a name and ID. All of these have name and ID, so they will be submitted. So why we've given these names and IDs, because based on this we will read from the previous from the next page, which is the PHP page. So we'll declare first name, and also okay, let's just complete this. First name is equal to $_get, that's the syntax, and square brackets, and right here the name of the input field coming from the previous page. I'm gonna just copy this. Let me just tell you what is this f name coming, where it is coming from. It's coming from here. This is the f name and the l name and the email. Okay, so I paste this 4 times because this is f name, l name, this is email. So you actually connect the previous page's variables to the next page's variable. Why? Because we just read it, the server reads it, and then the server tries to insert into the database. Now these variables named like PHP variable names, these are from the previous form's input type name. The input type, the HTML input type, they have this name. They don't have to be similar, but to make things very simple so that you don't forget or you don't get confused, we have made them similar. Okay, L name is, okay, we need to also change here L name, and this is email. Okay, perfect. So once we have these, just echo br, go to the next line, and then you want to create a query. My query is equal to nothing right now, and then you will construct it based on whatever you've received. So for the time being, let's do this. I'm gonna just echo whatever I've received from the previous page. Let's say I'll echo email dollar email. Okay, so we want to see this is working or not. So we go back to this and we refresh this PHP. I'm gonna write here Ali Ahmad Ali at hct.ac.ae abcd, and when I submit this, it should go to the registration.php. Yes, it goes to registration.php, and fname is equal to Ali, l name is Ahmad, email is this, and password is this, whatever, and we get this. So alhamdulillah, we are picking that up. So let's just remove this email echo because we don't need to display this. All we need to do is to say if it was successful or no. Okay, so let's just build the database part. I'm going to do my query, my query is equal to select asterisk from users table, make sure it's exactly the same name, the users table, and where email. Why we are doing this? Because we don't want to just go directly and insert. We want to check if it exists already. If it exists, then we will not insert. If email is equal to, excuse me, we want to insert a variable here, which is $email. If email is equal to email, Okay, what is this email? Whatever the user has typed. The asterisk from users where email is already existing, that's what it means. So let's take the result in the result variable, mysql underscore query, and we need to supply the connection and the query. So the result will be the result variable. Okay, now if there is some result, then we'll get the number of rows more than 0, meaning 1 or at least 1 we'll get. mysql underscore num underscore rows counts how many rows you have. Who has the result? If the result has some rows which are greater than 0, then you echo sorry, this email already exists, please choose a different email. Sorry. Okay, that's better. And then you need to, because it's an echo, you need to end with the semicolon. That's when, if it already exists. What if it doesn't exist? Now we need to do the insert. If it doesn't exist, then now you construct your query. Use the same variable. We don't want to waste too much memory, so we use the same variable. So now we need to insert into users, exactly the same name. And what is there in our users? Let's go ahead and check again. It's user ID, which is automatic, so we'll not type it. Fname, lname, email, password. This is what you need to type. Fname, comma lname, comma email, comma pwd, and the values are in the same string. And this is where you need to construct it very wisely. It's better to do like this first, because you have 4 of these. If it's a number, you don't need to put another semicolon like I'm doing now. And here you need to put all these four variables: f name, l name, email, password. Notice the order is very important. You're saying insert f name, so this will be the first position, so f name should be here. L name second position, email third position, pwd fourth position. So the variables should also go in the same way. If you swap that, if you bring l name here, f name here, or email at the password at the email, there will be no error. There will be no error. It will get inserted because the database doesn't know what your logic is. But there will be an error in terms of logical error. You'll write your l name as the first name, and so it will be wrong information into the database. So that's our insert query. And now what we need to do, we need to insert, execute it, and just show the result if it was successfully executed or not. So let's create a okay, we need to have a result actually, which will be given when my query will be ran. mysql underscore query. So what's the query and the connection? This is the connection, and this is the query, my query. So you actually ran 2 queries. First query to check if it already exists in the email. If it doesn't, now is the second query. And if there is something, meaning if it returns true to the result, now this time it will return true or false. So you'll check here if result, if result, else this. Okay, meaning if it's true, you display item successfully added. Okay, otherwise you say there has been some error, I don't know, echo error, and maybe in bold if you like. starts here, the bold tag ends here, unable to post, okay, and ends with a semicolon. And once everything else is finished, what you do is you close the connection with mysql underscore close. Okay, so that's the insertion part. Let's do that quickly. Refresh. Ali Ahmed, Ali at hct.ac.ae abcd. Get started. Item successfully added. Okay, alhamdulillah. Let's go and check if it's true. Browse. Ali is there, Ali Ahmed. Okay. Now let's go back and try adding Fatma. Fatma, Ali, Toom at hct.ae abcd. Okay, successfully added. Go to the database. There's Fatum. Okay, but let's try adding Fatum again. Okay, I go back. I say Fatma Ahmed Fatum at ACD. Sorry, this email already exists. Please choose a different email. Okay. So that's our registration. Now you need to do something very similar with the login. Okay, so let's do the login part quickly. I save this as home. So I'm just creating a new page, and I'll say I'll do the same query here. So let's just copy. I'm just copying this, something similar but not exactly. You'll get email and password only here. The previous form should submit you email and password, where user email is equal to this and password is equal to something else. Sorry. If this was successful, then congratulations, this is successful. You are now logged in. Valid email password. Okay, so that's our home.php. Nothing fancy up till now. Equal to this, and pwd is equal to $pwd. Okay, save all. Now we need to go to the login part. Action is equal to home.php, because it's supposed to go to home if it's successful login. If it's not successful login, also on home, and the home will just display it's not successful login. Okay, so let's give quickly these IDs. Email is ID email, name email, password ID PWD, name PWD. Okay, and then it's gonna submit to home.php. In home.php, what it'll do, it will create the database connection, read email password, and create a query. Select ask from users with if email is this and password is this. Congrats, you're logged in now, otherwise you're not logged in. Okay, so just save all, and make sure you know what the password is. Let's say I'm gonna browse again. Okay, Ali at hct.ac.ae, password is abcd. Okay, so let's just try and test this. Go back, login. Now it's gonna submit to a different server, different controller. Ali at hct.ac.ae abcd. Login. So when I say login, it should actually log in. So ali.htt. Oh, did I have to, sorry, did I have to refresh this? Yeah, I should have refreshed this. ali@nct.ac.ae abcd login. Okay, congrats, you're not logged in. But if I go to login and I say ali@nct.ac.ae and I say something else, login, invalid email and password. How about for Thum? If it's working for Ali, it will work for Fatum also. That's the thing about dynamic. You see, you don't have to do for each and every page, each and every item. You don't have to create a page. Just do it once, do the programming, and it'll work for everything. ABCD. That's her correct password. Okay. So that's how things work. Thank you very much for watching.